Get your beer motors running tonight, piss drinkers, because we're heading out on the Saison Highway. And I just picked up another Trillium growler, a brand new beer. They've never even bottled it before, called Free Rise. It's a Saison, 7.3% alcohol, dry hopped with Citra. I've had their Sun Shower, which is dry hopped with Citra, but that one I feel like is a little bit more of a big Saison type. That was like 8.5% alcohol. And I've also had their Trillium flagship Saison that isn't really especially dry hopped with anything special. This one is 7.3, and I'm expecting it to be rather hoppy. Some people have described it as more of a Saison and IPA hybrid, which I'm definitely a fan of. And they call it Free Rise, I think, because what they do, and I've heard of other breweries do this with their Saisons, is they throw in the yeast in the unfermented beer and just let the temperature rise as whatever it wants, as the yeast wants. So you get a little bit more of an intense Saison character, perhaps, from that. I know that the other brewery that does that is Off Color, and their Apex Predator Saison. But that one's not especially hoppy. So we'll see if maybe the big Saison spicy fruity notes match up with the Citra dry hopping. And this one was just added less than a week ago on Untapped. So I assume it's extremely fresh. Probably, or definitely less than a week old. Perhaps only a few days old. Take a gander. Looks like a Trillium IPA, basically. Very pale. Very cloudy. Very, very carbonated. I can smell the Saison yeast, even though it's pretty far from my face right now. But it just has that beautiful look of a Trillium beer. Very hazy. So I've noticed that some of their beers lately haven't been quite as hazy. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I really find this color and opacity to be quite beautiful. Ooh, yeah, there's a very big, almost Hefeweizen aroma to that. And the Citra does bring in some passion fruit there, but I feel like they blend together to create a greater sum than their parts. Aroma is pretty big, It's not anything like double dry hop Fort Point or anything. But it smells very nice. I don't get any alcohol. I don't notice any kind of overly phenolic, medicinal, Belgian yeasty thing happening. And I'm not getting any weird green onion hop notes or anything like smoky garlic. It's very, very juicy, fruity, very pineapple-y. Yeah, I think the slight bubble gum and then the passion fruit are combining from the yeast and then the hops to make a nice, really great juicy fruit gum and pineapple aroma. Yeah, it smells a lot like pineapple juice. Just a touch of clove. Very nice, very light body. The carbonation isn't insane, which would probably make it a little bit fluffier, but and it's not very bitter or boozy for 7.3% alcohol. It's a very pleasant, easy drinker. Just a tad of that Saison chalky, spicy finish. Yeah, that'll probably build up eventually and bring out a little bit more bitterness on my tongue. But right now, it's not even as bitter as their other pale ales. Very pleasant. Let me just do another pour from my partner over here. Rather beautiful. There you go. The head dies down, but it keeps a little cap there, and there's some lacing on there you can see. But that tells you that it's not insanely hoppy. I bet they... Actually, I can look at the ingredients right here. It says Citra and Columbus, so they probably just use a small amount of Columbus for bittering, and then Citra dry hop. And it also has Danko rye from Valley Malt from Western Mass, which probably helps to bring out a little bit more spice to it, but I'm not getting very much, and it definitely hasn't made the color any darker. It's very pleasant. I guess maybe if you think about the rye, it'll work out a little bit. It's a little spicy bready, but I'm not getting any sort of candy-ish sweet malt or anything like very marshmallowy. And it seems like the rye kind of brings it in a different, more peppercorny direction than the normal clove you might think you get from a Saison. Especially one that they let the temperature free rise, so if they let it go up as high as it wants, it's going to be as expressive and intensely phenolic and flavorful of a yeast. But it's not nearly as in your face as something like a Mystic Saison. But pretty similar. And so they use Pilsner malt, Danko rye, flaked wheat, and dextrose. So this is a pretty simple beer. And it comes through that way, but the flavors that are in it work really well together. I don't get like any burn in the throat or any booze. It's very pleasant. And I guess, this is also brewed at Trillium's new Canton facility. Their regular first brewery is in Boston, but they made one in Canton. And it seems like they're keeping up the quality very well there. Yeah, I can't wait to taste this with other hops happening. Because the Citra really mixes in with the Saison yeast and how they fermented it. So that doesn't stick out. Some people might be like, it's not citry enough, but I think it just blends together really well. And there's just a touch of that Belgian yeast tanginess in the finish. It's almost like you just drank some tang. And yeah, I'm noticing a little bit more bitterness and a little bit more sort of aspirin chalkiness, but not that much. Definitely nothing like very Brettanomyces influenced beer. Definitely no Brettanomyces going on in this one. Extremely dry and very light-bodied, very refreshing. This would be a great thing to have in the summer, and it's a little bit too easy to drink at 7.3% alcohol. I probably would not guess that if you gave this to me without telling me what it was. And it looks like... I don't think I see any chunks in there. It's just a perfect haze. Did you try some, Steph?
It's very good.
Very good over there. But again, it's not... I don't know if I would really call this a Saison IPA hybrid. It's still mostly in the Saison category. It's not that bitter. It doesn't have any of the hop resins and, dank qualities that you might get from some beers that are extremely highly hopped with Citra. I feel like they probably don't dry hop this as extensively as they do with their very hoppy pale ales and IPAs. but really just takes it to a more intense tropical fruit flavor for a Saison and moves the, the spiciness away from clove to more black pepper. Like they say delicate black pepper spice. I notice it pretty clearly. And also, they say a floral citrus hop profile. I feel like it's it smells a little bit like honey. It's got a wildflower honey aroma in it, definitely too. Yeah, someone should make a honey Saison with lots of Citra hops and see how that turns out. It's like honey and pineapple, and it just gets a little bit juicier as I try it more. But the light body prevents it from being exactly like you're just drinking some kind of nectar. It is. I don't know if I would classify this as sweet nectar of the gods. Some people might. But nothing is overwhelming on the palate, in my opinion. It all comes to just create a really nice American-style Saison. Yeah, perhaps this could be a replacement for the passed away, or soon passed away Jack Dore, if they make this available more often. It's kind of in that vein. Oh, I'm probably going to give this 8.35678 and also 2 sodas and 5 bags of popcorn. And I'll also give it 5 wags of the finger for making a really good beer. Goodbye.